If you're planning a trip to Quebec City, we have 3 self-guided activities and a bunch of itinerary tips to make your family vacation truly shine. Our Canadian road trip may have started in Montreal, but Quebec City offered a totally different, vibrant flavor of Canada's culture. To keep things more economical and kid-friendly, we planned our adventures all on our own. We started with a family favorite, a self-guided walking tour from GPS My City. You don't need AI for vacation ideas. This site is packed with tips from locals and experts sharing hidden gems. The French village charm of Quebec, perched over the St. Lawrence River, was so picturesque. I'll link the free walking tour below. If your kids are patient listeners, you'll catch some great historical tidbits along the way. We popped into a historical church to see the port's nautical side, and then explored the pedestrian streets and gift shops. We loved finding local Canadian treasures and just had to try the maple syrup pops. This was too much sugar.
Yes, believe it or not, pure maple sugar with nothing else is in fact not food. Just so it's delicious.
It was good.
But like if you have pancakes and syrup, you never say, hey, hold the pancakes. Second word of advice is this whole trip, I have not gotten cash. I have not gotten any Canadian dollars. However, if you go to the funicular, you must have cash. They only take cash. They do have an ATM. Our card did not work. I don't know why, but so we have
Our card may be like, hey, this is being used in a foreign country. That's weird.
Or maybe you don't want to spend $8 on the ATM fee. Maybe my card was like, no, you don't want that. So all to say, you don't need to bring a lot of cash. Everyone takes cards. Funicular requires cash. Bring un peu d'argent, s'il vous plaît. Bring a bit of cash.
Since we didn't have cash for the funicular, we tackled the steps to the top of the hill. And it was quite a workout, but the views from the summit were spectacular. Welcome to the Hotel Frontenac. This is the most photographed hotel in the world. And the way it sits perched on top of the hill overlooking the waterfront, it really does make it feel huge and majestic. Some mix between like a Scottish castle and a French chateau. It really was meant to be mind-boggling at the time and still really is astounding. It is what you think of when you think of the architecture of Quebec. In fact, whenever you go to Disney World at Epcot, they have a similar style to some of the buildings in the Canada Pavilion. You definitely should come check it out, but don't only come here to see this. This is kind of the quintessential tourist site. Now, I'm a history buff, and I wanted to visit this museum, but the kids were all tuckered out and it was drizzly. So we headed to the Museum of Civilization, one of the top recommendations in the area. While they have great exhibits on native life, the rotating galleries are also fantastic. We love the one on crowds, which was super interactive and a cool mix of psychology and statistics. Then we dove into the Titanic exhibit. Since we're big cruisers, seeing what ocean voyages used to be like was fascinating. My kids loved the audio tour's personal stories, and thankfully an English option was available. This kind of hands-on experience is a beautiful way to introduce kids to history's big stories. The tangible items really highlighted the humanity behind the legends. This was a pretty great museum, and we stayed right up until closing at 5 o'clock. We enjoyed getting to do the extra exhibit of Titanic and hadn't really thought about the Canadian connection to the Titanic. One thing that we recommend that worked out today is that we had a walking tour part of our day and a museum part of our day, and it's nice to have an indoor option and an outdoor option that you can move around and invert. For example, if it was really, really hot, we could have chosen to have the museum in the afternoon. So we had some indoor air conditioning, climate control. But today it was really rainy, so we came into the museum during the rainy part of the day, and we managed to squeeze in the walking tour for the parts of the day where there wasn't too much rain happening. On day 2, we headed just outside the city to Montmorency Falls. Everyone told us this was a must-do, and they're right. These are the tallest falls in the province, even taller than Niagara. Of course, my kids were most excited about the playground. And then on the far side, there's a sidewalk and stairs that go up. Or if you take the cable car, you go across on this side and you walk over to the bridge. Visitor center, costumed guides, and that crazy snowman. There you go. We braved the heights and hopped on the cable car for a quick scenic ride to the top. And there's so much more up at the top than just a lookout. There's a historic manor house, currently under construction, another playground, and tons of space to explore. The railings were nice and sturdy, so any height stress quickly turned into fun. From the ledge, we saw the suspension bridge and people ziplining over the falls. I can tell you one thing, I am not ziplining over those giant waterfalls. No, sir. But the suspension bridge felt rock solid, no swinging at all. And the powerful water churning below was still a thrill.
It's way down there.
What surprised us were the walking paths, picnic tables, and guest areas on the far side of the bridge. Not stroller friendly. We found the zipline booth, some restrooms, and even historic fort ruins for the kids to run around. You'll notice we're all bundled up with the mist and the drizzle. It was chilly even in August. Back at the bottom, the visitor center had some of the best souvenirs we'd seen this whole trip, so everyone picked up something special. Before we knew it, we were waving adieu to Quebec and heading for the American border. One last tip. On the drive back to NYC, we stopped overnight in Saratoga Springs to explore the town and visit the famous racetrack. I had never been to a horse race before. I highly recommend finding bonus stops to keep the vacation magic going all the way home. If you want to see everything we ate gluten-free and dairy-free in Quebec, catch our next video. We're really glad you joined us today, and we'll see you on the next adventure.